Have you ever felt trapped in a cycle, unable to understand why certain situations keep repeating in your life? Perhaps you're chasing a goal that always seems just out of reach, or maybe you feel an unexplainable emptiness, as if a crucial piece of the puzzle is missing. According to Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung, nothing in life happens by chance. Once you begin to understand this, the answers you've been seeking may finally start to reveal themselves. The profound significance of your birth. Jung believed that the moment you were born carries more meaning than most people realize. It wasn't just the beginning of your physical existence. It was the unfolding of a deeper connection between you and the universe. According to Jung, your birth wasn't random. It carries clues about who you truly are, what drives you, and which challenges you'll face on your journey. He introduced the concept of the collective unconscious, an invisible network of symbols and archetypal patterns that link our individual existence to something greater. This collective unconscious suggests that we are all part of a universal design. Just like the seasons, each with its own rhythm and meaning, your birth also carries a unique energy. This energy shapes your personality, your choices, your passions, and even your fears. If you don't understand how this energy works, you might unknowingly work against it instead of using it to your advantage. Archetypes, the universal patterns within us. Jung discovered that many inner conflicts come from being disconnected from these universal archetypes, deeply rooted patterns that shape how we see the world and how we behave. He believed that the month you're born reflects which of these archetypal forces are most present in you, and therefore, what strengths and challenges you might face. Think of it like a compass. If you don't know how to read it, you'll wander in circles. But if you learn how to interpret the signs, your path becomes clear. Some people are natural pioneers, trailblazers who take on challenges and inspire others. Others are deeply attuned to emotions, sensing what others feel. They are healers by nature, offering comfort and understanding. Then there are those who question life itself, searching for deeper meaning in connecting with the spiritual side of existence. But what happens when you ignore your own nature? When you try to become someone you're not? Life starts to feel like an uphill battle, like swimming against the current. It's like planting a sunflower in the wrong soil. No matter how hard you try, it just won't grow. Maybe that's how you're feeling right now, trying to fit into a role that was never meant for you while your true potential is still waiting to be discovered. The power of self-awareness and inner reflection. Jung believed that real transformation begins the moment we turn our gaze inward and confront what we've long avoided. To him, self-awareness was like switching on a light in a dark room. Suddenly, what was hidden becomes visible, and what once felt threatening begins to make sense. Ask yourself, what is my birth month trying to tell me about who I am? Imagine that your birth was no accident, but rather part of a larger design, that every challenge you face holds meaning, and your strengths are not random. The secret lies in learning to read the signs and using them to shape the life you truly want. Because everything you need is already within you. You just haven't learned how to access it yet. For centuries, great thinkers like Jung recognized that the universe speaks to us in symbols and patterns. In the past, people looked to the stars for answers, but today we can find those answers within ourselves. Have you ever noticed that certain seasons affect you more deeply than others? That some months make you feel alive and full of energy, while others seem to slow you down? That's no coincidence. It's the energy of your birth moment subtly shaping your journey. But that doesn't mean your fate is set in stone. Quite the opposite. Jung taught that, by becoming aware of these patterns, we can break free from repeating cycles and take charge of our lives. It's not about predicting the future. It's about understanding yourself better and using that insight to make conscious decisions. Real-life stories, breaking free from cycles. Let's look at two real-life examples that illustrate this powerful transformation. Anna, a 48-year-old literature teacher, had spent decades feeling like she was constantly racing against time. She chased ideals that always seemed just out of reach. Every time things began to go well, something would throw her off course. A difficult boss, financial setbacks, or worse, the old familiar feeling of not being good enough. Anna was born in April, a month associated with pioneering energy. People born in this month often have a drive to act, build, and lead. However, the shadow side of this archetype reveals itself as impatience and harsh self-criticism. Anna constantly felt the need to be in motion, to always do more, and yet, it never felt like enough. By bringing this pattern into conscious awareness, Anna could begin to balance her drive for action with moments of stillness and reflection. She realized that true strength sometimes lies in knowing when to pause. Then there's Roberto, a 57-year-old man who worked his whole life in mechanical engineering. He built a solid career, raised his children, and ensured his family's future. But as retirement approached, he felt empty. The achievements that once brought him pride now seemed hollow. Roberto was born in May, a month associated with the search for stability, security, and the bridge between the material and the spiritual. His shadow expressed itself as an excessive need for control and a deep fear of the unknown. Now faced with the existential void that retirement brings, Roberto realized he had spent so much time building a secure life that he forgot to ask himself, what makes me truly happy? These stories show us that life's challenges are not punishments, they are invitations to grow. Crises often arise from repressed unconscious energies and can become turning points when met with awareness and reflection. Embracing both light and shadow. Jung said that the unconscious always finds a way to express itself, whether through dreams, emotions, or life events that seem to be out of our control. The emptiness Roberto now feels isn't a failure. It's an invitation to explore a part of himself he has long ignored. True growth comes from integrating both the light and the shadow within us. By acknowledging our fears, insecurities, and suppressed emotions, we gain the freedom to choose new directions and shape our lives with intention. Every person carries both light and shadow within, and real maturity comes when we learn to accept and balance both sides. That means questioning old patterns, letting go of self-doubt, and opening ourselves to new possibilities. Once we realize that we don't have to be ruled by our unconscious, but can instead make it our ally, real transformation begins. Rewriting your story. The cosmic dance. Jung described is not a prison, it's an opportunity for self-discovery. When you understand the energies at play in your life, you can begin to use them in your favor. If, for example, you were born in January, you might realize that your instinct to lead doesn't mean you have to do everything alone. If you were born in July, you may come to see that your deep empathy doesn't have to drain you. It can be a powerful strength as long as it's directed with care. Self-awareness doesn't free us from life's challenges, but it gives us the tools to face them with wisdom. When you begin to recognize the patterns in your life, something powerful happens. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstance and start to see yourself as the author of your own story. What once seemed impossible to change suddenly begins to make sense, and you realize you have the power to choose differently. The cosmic dance of life. Jung once said, "Where your fear is, there lies your power." This journey of self-discovery is not about avoiding hardship. It's about finding balance between facing challenges and learning from them. And that balance begins when you understand the energy that's been with you since the moment you were born. Whether you're in your 30s, 50s, or 65s, self-awareness has no expiration date. The deeper you're willing to go into your inner world, the closer you come to living a life aligned with your true purpose. Are you ready to look within and discover what energies are guiding your journey? Because from the moment you make that choice, the cosmic dance stops being a mysterious force and becomes your greatest ally. In the next chapter of your life, will you continue living within old patterns, or are you ready to consciously take the reins of your life? The first step is awareness. The second is intentional action. By questioning your inner beliefs and viewing your choices through a new lens, you open the door to deeper self-realization. Remember, where your greatest fear lies, so does your greatest potential. The cosmic dance of life is waiting for you to find your rhythm and to dance it boldly.